The following is a production of the Lakeside Chiefs Radio Network. Welcome to the Lakeside Football Report with head coach Tom Clements. Your weekly in-depth look at all things Lakeside Chiefs football. We'll look back at last week's game and look ahead and break down this week's matchup.
35-30, 25-20, 50, 10, 5, gone! Touchdown, Lakeside!
With your host, Ben McAlilly.
Welcome into the Lakeside Football Report with head coach Tom Clements. I am the voice of the Chiefs, Ben McAlilly. The Chiefs coming off a tough 43-12 loss on the road at Crenshaw Christian last week. Coach, how are you? And kind of give us your thoughts on last week's game. Kind of how did it look through your eyes?
I'm doing okay, Ben. Thank you, and good afternoon to you as well. Yeah, last Friday was another tough one for us. Very, very similar situation as the previous game with Macon East. We let them come out and score on us quick. They scored on us twice quickly and looked just like a repeat from the week before, and then we settled in and played, which I've said before on here several times already. We have trouble getting adjusted to the speed of the game from the start, and it's just frustrating. But we did look good at times. We had a stretch of the game there where we stayed with them and played pretty well, and then at the end we just we couldn't get anything on the board offensively, and then we just gave up too many big plays defensively, and it got away from us. So it's one of those things that, again, we just started out slow, then we, played strong, and then we just fell apart there at the end.
What can you do to stop that, if anything? Is I know we're limited in numbers and you can't replicate game speed in practice. Like, what is your approach to try to get us off to a quicker start?
We're trying to look at different things and different ways to help us out in that area. We have a defensive recognition period where we talk about the formations, that type of thing, but we have to break it down and work an inside drill with just the interior, and then we have to, the first and second level of the defense, and then of course we'll run pass scale defensively, but we're not able to put the entire picture together due to numbers, of course. So we're going to have to be creative and figure out a different approach to when it comes to that. For instance, this week we're playing a team that runs some wing T. I mean, you have to have the backside of it. You can't just run half line. You have to have the entire front because there's so much movement with the offensive line. So you just can't show it. So it's something where we're going to have to figure out. I do like what we're doing. I mean, that's all you can do is break it down in the individual areas like that. But, we're going to have to figure out a way to be a little more creative and be able to catch up to the speed of the game from the start, because we got to eliminate that. That's hurting us.
Well, let's focus on the positive side of the things. What did you see that we did well? I know there was a long touchdown pass from Trip Swain to Ali Quinn. The passing attack still looks lethal at times. What did you see that you liked?
As a group, we played hard. We really did. Now, did we miss assignments? Sure, we did. And in a playing opponent like Crenshaw and as good as they are and disciplined as they are, you have to play almost error-free to win that kind of game. And of course, we didn't play error-free, but we did play hard. And, it's a challenge for the kids, and this is something I've talked to them about from early on. They don't have backups. People may say, well, what do you mean by that? Well, the point I'm trying to make is you don't have a backup, it's very easy to just not work very hard or not go 100% every single snap or play because you're going to be on the field. So we've challenged them with that from day one. You've got to stay hungry and you're the guy at each position. And so what I'm getting at is we've done okay with that. We could do better, but we've done okay with that. We're better in that category than we were last year. We played hard, and of course we had some individual great plays during the game. But the thing that stuck out to me is we didn't lay down. They went up 14-0 quick, and we started playing. And so I would say overall that was the thing I was most pleased with. It's just got to get off to a better start.
Gotcha. Well, flip side of that, what did you see coming out of last week's game that we needed to improve on? We didn't have much of an answer for their rushing attack at times, but other times our defense played well. Like, what did you focus on this week to improve?
Well, this week, it's two totally different styles of offenses that we're going to see this week compared to last week. So, we feel like we have the advantage on the edges this week, which should help us in the box. We can try to force them outside because we feel like we're okay in that area. Whereas last week it was, kind of the opposite in some ways. But they were really good in the interior and on the edge. So, but this week, we feel like if we play to our capabilities, that we'll have the edge on the outside. So, this week we're more focused on, and we didn't do bad in open field last week, and that's something else that's hard to get a really good look at and with low numbers. But, because sometimes you're working on ankle tackling or space tackling or whatever with a lineman running the ball, but that's all you got. But, that's an area we can get a little better in, and which we'll see this week if we do, because like I said, we feel like we have the advantage on the edge, and we're going to try to force them out. If they're running east and west, that's doing us a favor. And so I guess the biggest difference from this week and last week is, just a little different front, that we'll try to go at with them, and we'll see how it goes.
Each week we try to point out a player that's really kind of excelling right now. One that stood out to me at Crenshaw especially, and it's every week, is Lane Beasley, a linebacker. He's just a tackling machine. Talk about what he means to this team, and just talk about him a little bit.
Well, that was going back to the game last week. That was another area that we were playing our even front to start the game, and they were able to get to him and get blocks on him. And when we went to our odd front, that was our adjustment. It freed him up. He was able to make plays that he couldn't make early on in the game, and so we did that to help him out, and it worked. But if we didn't have him at that second level, we would really be in trouble. He's really done good things for us this year, and he's been a good leader on the field defensively, and he plays full speed every snap. And even when we're conditioning at practice, if it's the first sprint or the last one, it's the same speed. And he's just hardcore like that. And you need kids like that. And he's that guy for us. And so we definitely we got to keep him healthy and continue for him to play hard and get after it. And he's done really good things for us so far this year.
Well, we're going to step away for a quick commercial break. We'll come back and turn the page to this week's game, the Coosa Valley Rebels. We'll be right back here. This is the Lakeside Football Report.
This is more than a bundle. It's more than a combo deal. It's not just stuff. This is your home, your car. And you want to give them the protection they deserve. With home and auto insurance. State Farm agents get it. It's why they're here.
In Eufaula, talk to State Farm agent Sam Wise.
APEC Metal Express, offering quality service and guaranteeing to have the right parts and supplies. When you consider buying a roof or pole barn at other places, you make your decision based on a tiny sample. The warehouse at APEC Metal Express has an actual pole barn set up to give you a better idea of what yours will look like. This level of service is one of the things that sets them apart. APEC Metal Express, residential roofing, siding, trim, and in-stock pole barn kits with 16 colors in stock. 985 Technology Drive in Dothan, or call 699-5972.
Somebody cannot come to us, we go to them. It's something that we do on a regular basis, something we don't mind doing, and we work on a contingency basis.
No one has to pay us any money up front.
They do not have to pay us unless we collect for them, unless we are successful in resolving their case through a settlement or through trial.
They don't have to pay us any money unless we get favorable results for them. If you're hurt in a car wreck, call Penn and Seaborn. It won't cost you anything to see if we can help.
No representation is made that the quality of the legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
This is the Lakeside Chiefs Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Lakeside Football Report with head coach Tom Clements. Coach, turning the page to this week, Coosa Valley Rebels, they're 0-3 on the season. They lost 40-0 to Lowndes Academy last week. Kind of give us your thoughts on this week's game.
Well, I know first of all, coming in, they had a tough opponent last week too, so you really can't look at that score. I mean, really, you know, we pretty much lost by the same amount ourselves. But this game here, I know they're going to come over here confident. They did beat us last year, week one for us, and we had several suspensions happen during the school day the day before and completely changed everything up we had to do. And we still had a chance to win it, but we didn't pull it out. But they're not going to come over here. I mean, I know they feel like this is a game that they can win. We'll get their best effort they've had all year. And that's something I've tried to warn our kids about this week is, yeah, we've had 2 tough opponents back to back. That doesn't mean you just come out and lay down this week. You know, you just can't look at it that way. So Coastal Valley's a lot like us. Matter of fact, last year they were the 3 seed, we were the 4 seed. We were pretty evenly matched, you know, and I kind of see that being the case this year in different areas. I think there's some strengths we have that we're a little better than they are, but I think there's some areas that they have strengths in that they're a little better than we are. So, you know, I guess the way you got to look at it is they're not going to come over here intimidated. Yeah, they're 0-2. We're 1-2. So there's really no difference, really. So, you know, we definitely can't afford to look at any of our opponents that you know, we can't go by records. And they're going to come over here and play hard. I know they will. They'll come in confident. I'm knowing that too. And it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And I mean, you know, you can't look at previous games and different things like that, but it's just going to overall be a tough game for us.
Understood. You mentioned a minute ago that you were expecting to see some wing tee. Are they a base wing tee team, like triple option wing tee, or what do they do?
From what we've seen, they've had 2 different quarterbacks play. And, you know, one quarterback would come out in the wing tee set. The other played in a 2-by-2 spread look. And then there was one game where they were kind of 50-50 with both. So we feel like that's going to be the majority of what they do. We don't know that for a fact, of course, but it's still early in the season. People are still installing and doing different things. So you just got to be ready for whatever comes your way. And so we're getting ready for what you mentioned, and we also got to be ready for any type of installed systems they put in as well. So it's just going to come down to matchups and you know, the areas that we're a little weaker than they are. We're going to have to play better than them. We'll have to win every snap, and hopefully things will go our way.
On the other side of the football, what kind of defensive front do they show? What's their base look?
They're going to play a 40 type look, and it's really similar to what they played last year. We have several things that we're going to try to take advantage of, and hopefully that'll work out for us as well. But we got to get better at running the football, and that's just hadn't been great for us this year yet. And our offensive coaches have done a good job of getting some extra things in to try to help us out in that area, and hopefully that'll, you know, be something we can lean on and build off of here coming up the next few weeks.
You mentioned running the football has been a struggle, and it has been. How do you fix that? Is that more of a function of something we're doing wrong, or is it just the other teams are pretty good along the defensive front?
Well, sometimes sometimes it's just a building process. You got to start from the ground, and sometimes it's just an experiment. I mean, and we have 2 offensive coaches that haven't been with these kids. They have a good system. They're running what fits our personnel, but sometimes it's just an experiment. There's some things we've done early that we don't like now, and we're doing different things to try to take the place of those that we're not doing as much of. And it's just all about adding and keeping and deleting, and it's an experiment at sometimes. And that's kind of the phase we're in, is we're experimenting with things and trying to figure out what fits our personnel the best. And, you know, we had a good game plan last week. There's several plays we go back and look at the film. If we make one key block, we score. And that's a lot of what people don't realize sometimes, that, you know, a lot of times it's just one key block. You don't see that in the pile up, but you know, you go back and watch film and you see it. So, but we had a good plan last week. We had a good plan the week before. You know, we just got to execute it.
Coach Vince DiLorenzo is the coach at Coosa Valley. I don't know a whole lot about him. Maybe you do. Does he have certain tendencies you picked up on since you're head coach?
Well, first of all, I reckon, like, talking about him personally, I recognized his name last year before we went and played, and I said, I know that guy from somewhere. And I was one of those kids growing up that, I went to every Eufaula game and kind of was a sports nerd to be a 9 or 10 or 11-year-old. I remember in 1986, Eufaula was playing Homewood in the semifinals. The winner of that game played the winner of Gadsden, somebody. Well, long story short, Eufaula lost, but Gadsden won that game, and he was the head coach of Gadsden in 1986 that won the 5A state championship. And we put all that together last year, and I met with him. It was kind of cool going back to a childhood memory. But anyway, so he's been around it a long time. He retired from AHSAA, and he started back at Coosa Valley last year. Was his first year. He's also previously been at Coosa Valley before, and he won a state championship there too as well. So, but he, he's a no nonsense guy. He's old school, and his kids are going to get after it. And he's just an overall all around good coach, and he always has been. And it'll be a pleasure to play against him again.
Fantastic. Well, we're going to step away for another quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Talk about some other things going on at the Lakeside School athletic-wise, and kind of put a bow on this week's show. We'll be right back.
Deloach, Wingate & Company is a professional certified public accountant firm located at 102 Riverside Drive in Eufaula, Alabama. The firm has been in business for 30 years and has developed a number of firm specialties, including individual, corporate, partnership, nonprofit income tax returns, individual audit services, tax compliance and consulting, single audits, governmental audits, month-end reporting, payroll preparation, quarterly and annual reporting, and other general accounting and taxation consulting. Please call Deloach, Wingate & Company at 334-687-2108 or drop by their office for all of your accounting needs. Deloach & Wingate welcome the opportunity to support all of our local and surrounding schools with their athletic activities. Benny Whitehead Incorporated has called Eufaula home since 1965. Today, the family-owned business owns and operates 119 tractors and trailers and employs over 150 people. Benny Whitehead is nationally known as a leader in safety and keeping the air clean and fuel consumption low. Benny Whitehead Incorporated loves Eufaula and would like to wish Lakeside and Eufaula safe and successful seasons.
Your car is one of the largest and most important investments you have, so keep it looking sharp and new at Impressive Collision Center. The family at Impressive has been in business since 1940. They work closely with all insurance companies or can give you an excellent price on your minor mishaps. Also, check out all of the accessories from installed rush guards, winches, and bed liners. Swing by or give them a call. Impressive Collision Center, 317 South Eufaula Avenue, or call them at 687-4. Azure Creations supports the Lakeside Chiefs. For all your screen print, embroidery, vinyl, and sublimation needs, contact Azure Creations. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Azure Crafts and Creations. Email us at azure.craftsandcreations@gmail.com or contact us at 334-695-0643. Go Chiefs!
This is the Lakeside Chiefs Radio Network.
Welcome back to the Lakeside Football Report with head coach Tom Clements. I know the title of the show is Football Report, but you also serve as athletic director here at the Lakeside School. Kind of talk to us a little bit about what's going on. We play middle school football tomorrow at Terrell Academy, and what's going on with some other sports?
Yeah, we have a busy week this week. We started yesterday. Our volleyball teams went to Lee Scott, and both teams failed there, but we played well. We come back. Let's see. Today, nothing on the menu for today, and then tomorrow we go to Terrell Academy in Dawson, Georgia for junior pro football and middle school football, 5 p.m. Central Time kickoff. Also, while that's going on, here we'll be playing volleyball at home against Crenshaw. And for people that don't know it, the game has been moved to 2 p.m. Central. That's 2 o'clock Central Time during the school day for the varsity start. Crenshaw and Chambers have agreed to play their varsity football game tomorrow night because of the weather. A lot of schools are actually doing that, but so that's why that adjustment's made, so they can come here and play volleyball. And I think they got to turn around and go cheer at Chambers, because a lot of these schools have to wear many hats. We actually talked to Coosa Valley this morning, and they're just so far away. There's no way we could. If they came and played us tomorrow night, they'd get home at 3 a.m. Is that about what time we got home last year?
Right.
And then you got to get up and go to school at 7 o'clock. You can't make it work. And with the shortage of officials this year, that makes it hard for that. So we're just gonna have to tough it out and play in this mess. I know it's gonna be messy. So it is what it is. But so that's Thursday, and then Friday. We do have we have the game here with Coosa Valley, and our cross country program too will be kicking it off. So we got a lot going on, and it's going to be a big week for us.
Exciting things going on here at the Lakeside School. Just to wrap up this week's show, talking about going back to Friday's football game, kind of give us your keys to victory, and if you are expecting weather, how does that affect your preparation in it?
We have to take care of the football, and we have to take advantage of their miscues. If the game is played in the type conditions we're thinking, we cannot allow them to win the line of scrimmage. It'll be a long night for us if we do. It's going to be one of those very wet. Our field is a good track. It's about a 60-40 sand topsoil mix, and we're okay there. And there's some places I would not want to play in this type deal, but as far as playing here, that's going to be fine. And I was saying about our turf, we have a good drainage system, and the top of the grass blades will be wet, but everything else should be okay. But we're going to have to protect the ball, take advantage of their miscues, win the special teams battle, and it's just going to be I think it's going to be a competitive game, and I think a lot of it's due to. They beat us last year. They're not intimidated by us, and they're going to come over here ready to play. And we've got to make some big plays. And then we've seen that in our previous games. We've yet to put a long drive together offensively. We've hit big plays, and if that's going to be what continues to happen, we're just going to have to hit big plays until we can figure out a way to get a time-consuming drive put together. So. But those are really the important areas, and we've got to be focused coming in. And I think if we can win the line of scrimmage, we'll be okay.
Well, fantastic. 7 o'clock, Reeves Field, Friday night. Come be here, be loud. Come support the Chiefs. If you can't be here, you can join me on the Lakeside Football Broadcast Facebook and YouTube channels. We'll kickoff starting at 7 p.m. Pregame show starting about 6:45. So for Coach Clements, I'm Ben McAlilly. Thank you as always for joining us this week, and we will see you Friday night. My time is up. I thank you for yours. Go Chiefs.